What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of Zatima. This is season 2, episode 19, and the episode is titled Dear Mama. Let's get right into this review. So we start this episode off with Zac talking to the nurse, right? Or the doctor, I'm sorry. She comes in and tells him, that she's sorry because his mom is on life support. They don't see any brain activity. And we can basically say the baby girl is not going to make it. Now, what was annoying me, y'all, I can't lie, is the fact that you have Zac asking, what does that mean? What does that mean after everything that the doctor said? And I'm just like, sir, you ain't never even watched, a hospital show to give you some context clues? Or at least understand what the lady is describing to you. Because with all the words that she's using, it automatically sounds like your mama ain't gonna make it. Now here comes Jeremiah. Once the woman says, we're thinking of taking her off life support. Oh no, y'all can't do that. We ain't doing that. Sir, if you don't back the hell up, because you are adding nothing but drama to the situation, especially considering you were getting high with her. So now you want to act all big mad talking about something, because y'all ain't about to do that to my mama. Sir, Zac has nothing to do with the fact that your mama decided to do some drugs. And the doctor damn sure didn't have anything to do with her decisions. Cut this out. Is it because the guilt is eating you up right now? That's why you trying to get all big in the chest, talking about what they not going to do to your mama? If Jeremiah don't go sit down somewhere. Now, the doctor, she trying to keep it cool. Because let me tell you something. This is why I couldn't work in that type of field. You not about to talk to me crazy. Because Jeremiah is cursing at her, going all off. You know what I'm saying? And she like, listen, I'm going to try to get somebody else to come on through here to explain to you what's going on. Because clearly, your comprehension is all off. And Jeremiah is still going on about how they can't do this to his mama. And then has the audacity to hit her with because these white people don't care about black people. Sir, that is not the scenario or the case, especially in this situation. Now, you can already tell that Jeremiah is high as hell, but the way he's talking, somebody need to put hands on him. Oh, baby, somebody did. And who was that? Mr. Zachary Taylor. Zac decides to finally put hands on Jeremiah because I think Zac ended up asking, hey, can I go see the mom or whatever? And here he go. No, you ain't going to go see her, blah, 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 right? So then the doctor, who is just trying to do her job, okay? She like, listen, sir, I'm going to have to call security on your ass because you just keep popping off at the mouth. Now, he talking about you ain't going to call nobody, he ain't scared of security. You got Fatima saying, go ahead, call him. And I said, yes, finally somebody says it. Call security, put this man out. Jeremiah should have been put out a long time ago. Oh, but why did Fatima jump in and say that? Because here he go. He calling her out her name, talking about some FUB, this, that, another. Why he say that? Baby Zac jumped up so quick and charged at that man. I said, about time. Because this round 2 of y'all fighting, I'm here for it this go round. Because Jeremiah, shut up. At a time like this, you want to cause all this commotion? Now, y'all, I can't even lie. I cracked up after Zac hits his brother, right? So I guess Zac must have hit him so damn hard that he hit his own hand and then fucked it up. But the way he was like, Jeremiah, and then out of nowhere, I'm like, why the fuck is you limping? It's like his hand was hurting, then he was limping. I'm like, did you trip over his body? What's going on here? Because now you picking up ailments that you didn't even have originally. Your hand should have been hurting. Why are you walking like your feet hurt? Nonetheless, y'all, he finally goes to see, his mom in the hospital bed, right? And of course, he has to take Fatima with him because he can't do nothing without Fatima. So, of course, Zac is feeling super bad because if he would have known that she was going to go ahead and buy all these drugs and do them, he would have never gave her the money, right? Y'all, as he is boo-hoo and tearing up, I am so distracted by that Beijing on the top of his head. I said, now why is the Val head so damn black? Like, it reminds me of when I was a little girl in the 90s and I had the black Barbie and the black Ken, and the black Ken's hair is just completely black up top. There's no space for a scalp. That is exactly what his head looked like. I said, where is your scalp, Zachary? But nonetheless, we got to get back on task. So he goes on to basically say a whole little speech about how, he wished that his mom could have chosen him at least one time in her life. He wished that she could have got clean. She definitely caused a lot of pain to him. And she had her own pain that she was going through. And unfortunately, if this is the way that it has to be for him to move on, continue with his life, and, not have to carry her burden anymore, then so be it. Okay? That's what I gathered from this whole little speech that he had. He embraces Fatima, cries in her arms. It's a whole emotional moment, right? Now, here comes some white woman talking about she's from Billing. I said, get her out of here. Not you about to come trying to get him the bill for the mama being at the hospital. Ma'am, if you don't keep it pushing, not right now. Absolutely not right now. And on top of that, who gonna be paying for this? Because when I tell you, Zac gotta make some money at some point, because the way Tyler is writing it, everything is eating at his money. He got child support eating at his money. Him and old boy pretending to buy properties left and right. This man still ain't got no money coming in, and now you about to hit him with a hospital bill. This is absolutely crazy. So Fatima is like, you know what, I'll go talk to her or whatever. And this woman is like, and what is your relationship to him? Because, girl, if you just a girlfriend, I am not trying to talk to you. But here comes Zachary. That's my wife. I said, wife? Sir, she's not even wearing a ring. What are you talking about? But the woman says that she will allow it, and they go talk in the hallway. Baby, when I tell you, I ain't trying to step foot near a hospital at this point. Because when this woman just told her, yeah, well, to keep this woman on life support, it'll be $18,000 a day because she doesn't have health insurance. Oh, but then it gets worse because we find out that for the past 2 days, this woman has been in the hospital and Zac attempted to pay for it. And guess what, y'all? The check did not clear. So now we owe $36,000. Let me not say that we. Who is we? Zachary owes $36,000. Baby, when I tell you I would have hop, skipped, and jumped my ass on back into that room and start snatching plugs out the wall and saying, sorry, girl, you got to go. We can't afford to keep you breathing. We would have had to wrap that right on up. Especially because we just heard the Zac check didn't clear. I said, now hold the hell up. Hold it up, hold it up, hold it up. How is it that Bryce and Zac's assets and money is frozen? That don't make no sense to me. Something ain't right, y'all. Oh, but little Miss White Woman, she not done, y'all. Because she then decides to hit Fatima with the information that she overheard that the nurses was talking about how they gonna need this bed because the hospital getting crowded. I said, not you coming through with the hearsay. Not you coming through with gossip. Man, that's gossip, ma'am. You can't tell me that you overheard something that the nurses were whispering about. If you don't get up out my face with this. Oh, and then little Miss Bill Collector, she decided to let us know that she also talked to Jeremiah because Jeremiah is the person who said that Zac was going to take care of all the bills. And I'm just wondering, y'all, if they go in there and go snatch them cords, off the wall so that the mama ain't breathing and using their machines no more, they can pronounce her dead, right? So that means that's the mama bill. Can't we just go ahead and let that go on to the debt collectors, and because she dead, ain't nobody got to pay for it? Like, you know how when people die, you ain't got to pay their debt, even though they be wanting you to? But that's that dead person's debt, and you can go ahead and move on with your life. Can we do that with this situation? Somebody let me know in the comments. So Fatima, she done made her way back to Zachary, right? And he like, so what's going on? What the lady had to say? And she didn't want to tell him at first. But then she was like, you gonna have to pay to keep her on life support, okay? But everything gonna be okay, baby, because they can't just kick her out this bed because we can sue them for that, okay? So she tells him, you don't have to make a decision right now. And he's like, I just can't leave her like this. I'm like, sir, you're going to have to leave her at some point. Y'all going to have to pull this plug because y'all can't afford to keep her on this machine. Nonetheless, she says she going to go get the doctor, right? Baby, before she can even hit the door, here comes Jeremiah. Now, Fatima, she trying to get this man back on out the door. And I'm just like, hold on, sis, because it's his mama too. So both of them are probably grieving at the same time, just in different ways. Okay? So Zac tells her, nah, just go get the doctor, girl. Let Jeremiah stay. Now, y'all, here we go. We done slid all the way over to Angela's house. I said, now, hold on now. We was working with the hospital scenes. Where this come from, baby? So it's a ring at her door. She says that it's open. I said, why is it that on TV land, y'all always leaving y'all doors open? Bryce come in. First of all, Bryce don't look too right, y'all. Bryce looking like a madman. Something ain't right. I'm just like, are you coming to kill Angela? What's happening right now? He comes through the door. He sit down talking about, so I need to talk to Zac. I need to find him or whatever. He getting all close up on Angela. I said, sir, you need to back up. So he ends up telling Angela how he went to a restaurant, his card was declined. Come to find out, all his shit is frozen because of his business dealings with Zac. And I'm like, what business dealings? Because y'all ain't done nothing. But we gonna let that rock. So she ends up calling Fatima, right? And Fatima's giving her the lowdown on the fact that this woman is practically dead. Zac got to give the call to take her off life support. It's just a lot going on. Now, for some reason, Tyler does this thing where he will have someone play on the phone and be like, oh, I'm not going to tell you. I'll just talk to me later. But really, we could have just said it. Because Angela refuses to tell Fatima what's going on with the whole financial situation because there's so much happening at the hospital, right? So now she's telling her, just call me later, girl. So when she gets off the phone, Angela has to tell Bryce, listen, I couldn't tell her because Zac got a lot going on with his mama. But here's the thing. I'm with Bryce on this. Okay, that's cool. He got something going on with his mama. But my funds, okay, my livelihood has just been taken. Okay, what we gonna do about that? Because at the end of the day, I get it, your mama dying, but what the hell they got to do with my assets? What they got to do with me? Because if I go to the bank and they say that the issue is you, nigga, we got a problem. So I can't even knock Bryce for being like, in what hospital they gonna be at? Because I need to figure out what's going on. Now, Bryce, he's out here throwing a whole damn hissy fit, okay? Because according to him, he knows that Zac did something. He don't know what it was, but he gonna get to the bottom of it, okay? All right, y'all. We jump back over to the hospital, right? Jeremiah out here trying to tap his mama and, see if she got some feeling, I guess. And Zac is like, she ain't about to respond. Baby girl's hooked on machines, okay? And they are doing all the work for her. Now, of course, Jeremiah still has his jacked up attitude. However, Zac is like, listen, you gonna have to let her go because she ain't got no insurance and we can't keep paying for this. But according to Jeremiah, listen, you got money. So we gonna try to keep this ball rolling for as long as we can. Sir, it's funny how people who have no money always have so much to say of how other people should spend theirs. Why would we be spending $18,000 a day just to be putting oxygen in this woman's lungs and she ain't gonna ever say nothing back to us? No, we are not doing that, sir. Absolutely not. Especially considering she's been a shitty mother to both of y'all. Like, let's stop playing here. So Zac is telling his brother, listen, I'm about to sign these papers. You got to let her go and stop playing. Here goes the brother. He talking about they trying to get into your head, man. She breathing. Don't you see she breathing? I'm like, sir, how high are you right now? Y'all, Jeremiah got to be high. He got to be high right now. Because then he goes on to flip it, talking about, so you just want her dead. Mama, he just wants you dead, mama. I'm like, I can't lie. The actor who plays Jeremiah doing a great job, okay? Doing a fantastic job here. So Zac ends up asking Jeremiah, so when her check come, right? And Jeremiah like, what you talking about? And Zac, he tells him like, I already know. You only want to keep her alive so that way you can get her check. Y'all, that's not funny. But this ain't some old hood ghetto shit that I've ever seen on TV. I'm sorry, I did not think that Tyler would throw in a line about this man trying to keep her alive so that way he can get her little check. I can't. So then Zac has to tell his brother, listen, you don't have the money to keep her alive, and neither do I, so we need to pull this plug, right? Jeremiah goes on to then talk to the mom and say, you gonna make it, mama. Your bitch son trying to kill you, mama. I'm like, what? Somebody come get Jeremiah right now. Because this stuff ain't supposed to be funny, but it's hilarious, okay? So y'all, next thing you know, we see that Nate and Tony have shown back up. Oh God, who invited them back to the hospital? So they're like, how is she doing? Fatima has to let them know, listen, it ain't looking too good. Baby girl, she about to die, okay? So their response is, mostly Tony, is, oh, well, that's not good. Because Zac's not going to take it too good. And then he goes on to explain how they have been through so much. And honestly, y'all, I've never had an experience where my parents were as trifling as his mama is. But I'm just like, if anything, I don't know how hard he really gonna take this. Because at the end of the day, she was a terrible parent. Like, not trying to be rude, but I feel like if anything, he should have like a sigh of relief. Like, honestly, Zac should be like that one girl who used to be on iCarly. What's her name? Oh, Jeanette McCurdy. Y'all remember that story not too long ago about Jeanette McCurdy? And then she ended up writing a book, I believe. And I can't remember what it was called. I think it was called I'm Glad My Mom Died. It was like a memoir because her mama was completely like trash. I feel like that's how Zac should feel. Zac's character should be like, I'm glad my mom died so I don't have to carry her burden anymore. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to let this scene rock out. Now we have Nate. He's actually apologizing to Fatima for all the shenanigans that he done put her through and placed in her life. And she was just like, like, I don't know what he was expecting from her, but baby, she was not here for him. And honestly, I cannot blame her. So Tony says he has to get back to the barbershop or whatever. And him and Fatima end up exchanging numbers because he was like, if anything changes, just let me know because I want to be here for Zac. Here comes Nate talking about oh yeah, I can put my phone number in your phone. Boundaries, sir. We don't want nothing to do with you. So we just gonna go ahead and move past the rest of that scene because we didn't even need it. Okay, Tyler, you let it run for a little bit too long. All right, so in the next scene, we actually see Zac have a conversation with the doctor, and she lets him know that both him and his brother have to sign off on taking the mom off of life support. But we already know that Jeremiah is going to put up a whole fight about it. So, of course, once the doctor walks away, Zac, he does his typical Zachary behavior, and he wants to lean on Fatima a little bit harder. So he's like, Fatima, what should I do? What should I do? And she's like, that's your mama. I can't tell you what to do about your mama. And here's my thing. I have no problem with people, working things out with their partners, asking their partners their opinion, all of that. I think that is great in a relationship. However, the way Zachary has carried on in his life, he leans very heavy on Fatima and her ideas, when really a lot of the stuff that Zachary is handling is stuff that he needs to handle on his own without Fatima. But we're going to go ahead and let him rock with this. So again, Fatima tells this man that he does not need to make a decision today. And I'm just like, girl, so now we about to rack up another bill? Why? Because first we hit $18,000. Then we hit 36,000. Baby, now we at $54,000. Who is paying that? I'm sorry. With what money? You about to just go ahead and blow $50,000 for what? $50K? And this man ain't even got it? Good night. This gotta be one of them bills, y'all, that when the person die, it just go to collections and collect dust. It gotta be. So Zac decides that he about to go home. Fatima goes with him, and she basically had to promise that she would go back to the hospital with him the next morning. So we see them get home. Deja come outside. Baby girl got her neck brace on. She can't be caught slipping. And you can already tell Zac and Fatima, they don't have time for her today. Not for the antics. She tells them that she's going to get them their money. And I'm like, what money does she owe them? Oh, I guess baby girl is late on her rent. Now, baby girl is trying to have conversations with these people, and they just not here for it today. They just end up going in the house, right? So they have this conversation, and the only thing I got out of it is the fact that they basically got back together by default. And I'm just like, Tyler, I wish we would have did something differently, but this is your show, and this is what you decided to do. You decided to let them go ahead and get back together just because Zac needed support like he always does, and he has hardly done any of the work to even prove that he deserves this woman back. But because his mama died, we just gonna magically get back together. Just great. So Zac doesn't know how to feel right now, because at the end of the day, he loves his mom. However, they never had the best relationship. He feels a bit empty right now. And Fatima suggests that he talk to Dr. Reed. I mean, I don't really want him to talk to Dr. Reed because I feel like Dr. Reed be doing the bare minimum. So I think that Zac needs to go on and find his own therapist. But we're going to stick it out with Dr. Reed for the time being. So at one point in the conversation, Zac ends up asking her, like, oh, what do you see in me? And she's like, I see this, I see that. And I'm just like, again, here we go with Fatima having to big up this man's ego. You know what I'm saying? She has to tell him affirmations every day because he didn't hear that from his mommy. My mom said I wasn't gonna be shit, so I'm still acting like a child. I just cannot. I really hate the way that we have leaned so heavy into this idea that, Fatima has to give Zac all this praise to do what he can do, be all that he can be. And I'm just like, and what do you give her in return? Because the D ain't it. You gonna have to give her more in return. When you talk about love languages, what is Fatima's? Because it can't be just to, give you compliments all day. So then Zac decides to tell her about how the brother basically just wants to keep the mom alive so that way he can cash her check. He gonna figure out a way how to do it, you know what I'm saying? Even though his name ain't on the check, because that's just the type of person Jeremiah is, right? All right, fine. Now, y'all, why did this man then try to circle back and say, oh, I can't wait for us to become parents? Nigga, you are already a parent. So how about you try spending time with your own child? Because we've yet to see that. We've yet to see you actually put in some effort over there in that department. Now, do I feel like Fatima would be a great mom? Absolutely. However, I just really need for Zac to step it up. You guys, here's my thing. If we had to watch Zac and Fatima break up, right? And I get it. Zatima is a 30-minute show and it's only 10 episodes. But what you could have at least done, Tyler, is have it to where we actually saw some growth with Zac. There was none. This man went to one therapy session and that was it. Okay? Throughout this entire season of Zatima, we don't even mention his child and the custody battle that he's supposed to be going through. So I'm just so confused because I understand that Sisters and Zatima, they're not exactly on the same timeline. But come on. Like, you gotta at least make the shit make sense. You can't have him on Sisters having all this baby mama drama. You know what I'm saying? He got a baby on the way. He also has a whole child that he trying to get custody of. And then we hop on over to Zatima. He act like he ain't got no kids. And him and Fatima about to have their first child together possibly. Like, really, Tyler? What are we doing? But let's go ahead and jump back into the show because Zac is going on about how he's going to be a better father. You know what I mean? And he asks Fatima what type of husband does she think he'll be. And she's like, I think you're going to be a great dad. I think you're going to be a great husband. All this stuff. And I'm just like, and you had nothing to say to Fatima? This was all about you. Like, honestly, you guys, when we first saw Zac and Fatima get together, I was all here for it. But the way these characters have been dragged through the ringer, or at least Fatima has been dragged through the ringer, and then Zac, his character has just gotten worse and worse as the days have gone by. I'm just kind of like, do we even really want them together at this point? Like, honestly, we could have done with Zac and Fatima not being together for like a solid 10 episodes. And what I mean by them not being together, I mean like them not being together. Like, Fatima is doing her full time, not just playing around with dumbass Paul. She starts to enroll herself back in school. And then you have Zac. He's actually spending time with his child. He's actually trying to do the work. But Tyler refused to give us anything like that. So next thing you know, you guys, we see that Bryce and Angela, they are popping up at Fatima's house. Well, Fatima is Zac's house. And they actually see Deja outside. She trying to talk to them. They don't have time for her. However, she was low-key trying to flirt with Bryce, talking about some he's so fine. So Angela and Bryce come in the house or whatever. And of course, Angela is like, I'm sorry that you're going through all of this, Zac, or whatever. And here comes Bryce. Yeah, sorry about that. But did you get all my calls and messages? And Zac is like, yeah, I saw you call, but whatever. Now, before he can say anything further, Angela cuts Bryce off and she's like, just leave it alone. Like, don't say nothing. So now, of course, Zac is like, okay, what's going on? And Angela's like, no, he ain't got to tell you nothing. It's just a lot going on. Baby Bryce was like, listen, all of our assets are frozen. It is because of you that we ain't got no money. So now Zac got to figure out what the heck is going on. You guys, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I feel like this was probably one of the best episodes that we got this season. But let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in the next review. Bye, guys.